Okay, so before we start this conversation, there's something we need to clear up about this word collections or collector, because I don't like it, mainly because it holds a meaning that's unclear. For example, according to our dictionary, collections means the action or process of collecting something. Collector meaning a person who collects things of a specified type, professionally or as a hobby. Now, you're probably thinking that this definition sounds pretty straightforward and clear, right? Especially to someone who is practicing minimalism or living an intentional life. So really, that means all collecting or collections goes against the forward momentum you're making on your journey. But see, my question then is what is considered acceptable versus unacceptable collecting? Because to me, the line seems blurred, which is why I'm not a huge fan of the word collecting as it stands, right? And here's why. Let's say you're living a minimalist and intentional life the best way you know how, and everything that you add to your life is of value in things you enjoy. So let's say you enjoy plants. You're a plant mom or a plant dad, and just having plants around is your thing, right? So then technically you have a plant collection, or you're someone who collects plants, right? It's acceptable. Now let's take baseball cards or books or workout equipment. Are these things acceptable or unacceptable? See, the thing that makes this interesting is the natural contradiction the word collecting presents in a conversation around minimalism. For the same reasons I presented earlier, what's considered acceptable versus unacceptable collecting. And to me, the difference has everything to do with perspective and mindset. See, in the world of minimalism, it's easy to feel like your life in space is never minimal enough in comparison to what, though, right? Which is a conversation for another time. But if you're adding a collection to the mix, it makes that feeling more prominent, right? So how do we navigate this tightrope per se of minimalism and collecting? 3 things that work in a continuous cycle. Number 1 is review. See, minimalism is a tool that we're using or applying to our lives to help us live more intentionally, which means periodically we're naturally going to have a review process of the things we have used or once enjoyed. And during this review, we're asking ourselves questions like, does this bring me joy? Do I find value in this, or do I enjoy this? How important is this to me? And so on. And because of this review, it then allows us to reevaluate these collections or hobbies per se, so we can maintain mindfulness and prevent them from becoming a source of clutter. Number 2 is edit. In other words, declutter and let go. See, as we continue to grow and change in our lives and on our journey, so does our interests or the list of things that we enjoy. And because of this, it's important to recognize that sometimes a piece of our collections may become clutter, as we no longer find value in it or enjoy doing it. When this happens, it means it's time to let go, because there's no reason to hold on to it. Easier said than done, I know, but when we find ourselves holding on to things that we don't use, value, or enjoy, it's not really a collection or a hobby anymore. It's, dare I say, hoarding. Number 3 is enjoy. See, before you start anything I've talked about so far, you first have to change the idea in your mind that all collecting is bad or dangerous, because so is staring at a screen and plenty of other things if it's done mindlessly and carelessly. I mentioned earlier that the difference between acceptable and unacceptable collecting is perspective and mindset. But I also want to add enjoyment and purpose to this conversation. See, regardless of what hobby you have or collection you embrace, the key question is, do you enjoy it? And if you do, always be mindful and purposeful about it. And if you don't, or are finding that enjoyment fading, then that's when that cycle I was talking about starts to repeat itself. And you have to go back and then start the review process all over again from the beginning. Remember, it's review, edit, enjoy. Here's a final thought to sum this up for you. If anything you collect or have an interest in is done with intention, purpose, and within reason, and not with a hoarder-esque mindset, then what's the problem? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to thumbs up for me. If you have a collection like baseball cards or plants or anything else, let me know in the comment section down below. Or if this video made you think differently about your collection, let's talk about that in the comment section as well. It's your first time tuning in, welcome. I'm really glad to have you here. If you enjoyed this video, consider joining this community by hitting that subscribe button down below and tapping the bell so you're notified every time I drop a new video. Always remember to stay true to you, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.